Welcome, everyone. Today I'm interviewing Shiv Gupta from Incrementors. He's based in Delhi, India. Thanks for your time today, Shiv.
Thanks for having me here, Troy. Very excited to be here.
And you're the first guest we've had on from India, by the way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, we're both, before we hit record, talking a bit, but yeah, we've both got a love of cricket. So be good when I get out to India eventually. And if you do make it back to Australia, pop down to Tasmania.
Yeah, sure. I guess every Indian out there, they love cricket, right? We are big fans of cricket. So yeah, it would be fun to have you here and have a chance.
Yeah, maybe next time India and Australia are playing a test down here, might be a good time to align a trip.
Yeah, that can be the case as well.
Yeah. Let's start with how we know each other. So mid-February, you filled out the form on my website to come on as the show as a guest, and I think we've had to shuffle times a few times now, but here we are. Tell our audience a bit about your business, what it does, and how it makes money.
All right. So basically, we help clients in generating more leads and sales online. So we are a digital marketing agency, and we provide search engine optimization, pay-per-click, email automation, those type of services. Basically, if any company is looking to increase their visibility online, generate more business online, so we are there to help them.
I'm going to ask a bit about this on SEO. Do you think SEO is still relevant these days?
Oh yes, it's definitely relevant. And a lot of people say that SEO is dead, and I feel that they say this because they don't know how to do SEO. Right? SEO is not about creating backlinks anymore. Right? It's about being available on the right place at the right time. For instance, right now we are talking about how to grow small business, right? And we are a digital marketing agency. So there can be a case when a small business is listening to a podcast and they see me and they come to my website, right? You'll be giving me probably a link to my website as well, right? So the way SEO works now is to be present at the right places, right? Instead of just creating useless backlinks out there and saying that you are doing ton of work, right? Like Google has evolved, and quality matters, right? Quantity doesn't matter at all. So it's better you create 10 backlinks, but those 10 should be worth it instead of making tons of that.
Yeah, and you've got you work with companies all around the world and many different industries.
Yeah, like our company, like majority of our clients are from US, Canada, UK, and Australia.
Yeah.
So majorly English speaking countries, right? Those are the areas from we get our maximum clients for, and most of them fill out the form on our website, and that's how we contact them.
Yeah. Are there any industries that you work more with than others?
Majorly, we work with service-based industries, like people who are like, for instance, chiropractors or doctors or hair transplant surgeons, like who have a local business and who are looking to increase their footfall, their clinic footfall, or overall traffic to their website and to their clinic or to their store.
Tell the audience how you started out.
Basically, I started out as a freelancer for a couple of years. I did freelancing, and the client for whom I was working, he encouraged me to open up my own agency, and gradually he outsourced me a lot of work for a couple of years, and together with him I started taking few more clients, and that's how I started out. Basically, I really enjoyed doing marketing for clients, thinking out of the box how we can craft their message and send that out there in the world, right? Reach to the correct target audience. And even today, when I take any website or think about it, right, or craft things around it, it always makes me feel very good and happy. Like I just love doing marketing, and that's how like I kept attracting towards this more and more by each passing day, and that's how I started out.
What year did you start and how old were you?
This particular business I started in 2012, and before that for 2 years I was working with few clients, right, on freelance basis.
Great. Well, 10 years. Congratulations.
Yes.
And how old were you then, 2012?
In 2012, I was 19 or 18.
Yep. Right. And do you have some key numbers you can share to illustrate the growth of the business over that decade?
In most of the years, we have seen a growth of more than 10%, like two-digit growth. And there was a big time, right, for a duration of 3 years, I would say, when I was stuck at a team size of around 45 to 50 people. Some people used to join us, some people used to leave us, right? Sometimes we had more clients, sometimes we had more team members. So, like, I guess everyone faced such type of challenges as well, right? But right now, we have a team size of more than 100 members. And just the way we got stuck for a couple of years, the same way, like during the time of pandemic, we saw a growth of 45% because a lot of people were coming online, and we started marketing in different ways because everything was changing around the world. So you see your ups and downs, but on an average, if I say, like we have like two-digit growth every year and a team size of more than 100, which you can measure as a key growth indicator.
That's great. Congratulations. And how many people did you start out with? How many full-time equivalents?
Yeah, I started with 3 people, including me. So we were just 3 team members, right? It was self-funded system. So like the money which we used to earn from the client like was used to pay out the salaries and all the office expenses.
Yep. When was the moment you felt like you had succeeded?
It's a kind of subjective thing, but I guess the time when recession hit and we somehow managed, my team was dedicated, they came up with a lot of solutions, and even during the phase when everything was going down, I was seeing a lot of people from my same industry were running out of business, they shut down their offices, we were growing, right, and we hit a team size of 100 people. So I guess that was the moment when I felt that yes, we have succeeded, because a lot of people say that it's difficult to reach from 0 to 1 million, but it's easy to reach from 1 million to 1 billion, right? And we hit that goal as well. So that was the time I felt now things would be easier. Like you see your new challenges daily, but still, like the path moving forward would be you won't be alone. You'll be having ton of ninjas with you who will help you in growing and achieving the goals and targets which you want to meet.
Yeah. What does success look like to you?
It's the curse and blessing of being an entrepreneur. Like you get to see a lot of new challenges daily and you work on solving those. So to me, I guess I have started enjoying this process of fixing the problems, right? Creating better product for the clients, delivering better services. So to me, like success is like uh, completing your small goals which you make for yourself, right? It can be anything. It's not just always revenue or your sales target or your profit or profitability. It can be small things. Like last year, I was heavily working towards the system and processes because we wanted to work in the hybrid structure, plus a lot of things were changing around the world, right? Last year was the time when we were not focused heavily towards the sales or the revenue targets, right? We were more focused towards setting up all the systems, all the processes in our organization, which because I feel that is very important thing. We had a couple of things, but we wanted to take that to the next level. So last year, and I achieved that. So for that year, that was the meaning of success for me. And this year,
Great.
I have a few more plans, right? So that's what success looks like to me, like achieving your small goals. Like growth is success, right? It can be growing in any area of your business, not just your revenue or one particular area.
Number one thing you'd recommend to marketing a fast-growing business?
The number one thing which I recommend to all the businesses like who are growing fast is like It's up to you. You can use any channel: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram for your marketing purposes, right? You can look out your competitors and see what they are using. Probably that strategy would work for you. But you need to make sure that the messaging which you have, the USP which you have created, the buyer persona which you have created is good, right? Because if you craft your messaging properly, if you are actually talking about the needs, desires and pain of your targeted audience, then like you can choose any platform, because audience is everywhere, right? So you can choose any platform and start sending out those messages, and people will start following you, people will start trusting you. Provide them solutions related to the actual problems which they are facing, not just random blogs. So that's what I would say, right? Lot of people, they publish tons of blogs on daily basis, but those blogs are not solving any problem. They are just data copied from other blogs, curated and posted on your own website. So it doesn't work that way. So the most important advice which I'll give to the fast growing businesses is craft your messages. Just sit down, think properly, craft your messages, think about your USP, figure out your targeted audience, because a lot of people say we sell to everybody, and if you are selling to everybody, that means you are selling to nobody, right? So you need to think about your target audience and craft your messaging around that. Once you have done that, you can use any platform and you will start seeing the results. People will start approaching you for work and for help.
Yeah. And you started using the Net Promoter Score earlier this year. What's your number?
Yes, actually, we also use customer lifetime value, and the Net Promote NPS number which we achieved is 76.5, right?
Wow.
Like 120 clients filled out that form. And out of those clients, like 95 gave us a rating of 9 and 10, and 22 clients, they gave us in between 6 to 8. And to my surprise, 3 clients were not happy, right? So which makes it 2.4%, 2.5%. So I'm really going to work for those clients and improve the score there. But overall, the score is 76.5.
That's great for the audience. It's not a percentage, it's a positive or negative number. I've written a blog post on the website about how to work it out, which I think I sent through to you. And that's a phenomenal achievement. If you can consistently be in even over 50, positive 50 is really hard to do. So well done.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And I guess if anybody is having a negative number, then they'll probably run out of business very soon. So, so they need to start working towards it aggressively, right? Instead of focusing on marketing, they should focus on their products and their customer service and relationship. A lot of people, they just send the reports, right, or send the stuff to the client. They don't communicate, they don't get opportunity to do some sort of social networking, I guess. That's also important thing, right? You need to have some sort of relationship with your customers as well, right? Create couple of touch points, right? I advise, like for instance, in our organization, what we do is we have created different types of touch points with our customers, right? Different type of surveys which we send on monthly basis, right? Or we set out time to ask them what are the other areas where we can help them in their business growth, right? Because all these items help, not just it should not be the transactional relationship, right? Because that doesn't go well, and like everyone lose the interest in that process. But once you have a relationship, it really changes the game.
Yep. And funding, excuse me, and funding your business, you mentioned that it sounds like you were just grown through reinvesting profits. You haven't taken on bank finance or investors?
No, we haven't taken any bank finance or anything. Like all the money which we generate from the clients, we use that for further marketing and the other business operational expenses.
Yep. If you were to start up today with plenty of funding, would you go into your industry?
That's kind of tricky. There are a lot of things in the tech space these days. If I would get funding today, like marketing is fun. I enjoy that. So probably yes, I'll choose the same industry, but I'll increase bit of share towards metaverse marketing, because metaverse is the next big thing which is coming out there. So, and we are doing some research towards the marketing of metaverse as well. But yes, that's something where I would like to spend little more time.
Can you outline the most stressful point in your small business growth journey so our audience can learn from it?
Most stressful point, like you won't believe it, but the most stressful point was the time when we were getting tons of clients and it was a chaos everywhere, right? It's very difficult to deliver properly, right? You are recruiting, you are putting your workforce in recruiting more people, training them, then accomplishing the client's goal, and it's very difficult to stop your marketing when you are getting clients, right? So that was the most stressful point. I had to work longer hours. My team was working longer hours. We were working on Sundays as well. Though it's fun, but at the same time, you need to take out some time for yourself as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I understood that all the systems, all the processes should be in place, right? That's even that is the number one tip which I give to any small business, right? Like you cannot just run after marketing and operations, sales and operations, right? Some people don't even do marketing. So that was the stressful point, but finally we have solved that as well, right? Things are in place, and we have SOPs and each and everything for all the processes which we have, a proper training system. We have team members who can take the places if someone leaves the organization. So those type of
That's
things.
great. The SOP for the audience is a standard operating procedure. That's very very good to hear, Shiv. What area in business do you feel you've had to work on the most to add the greatest value?
Most important area, number one, was the product development, because once you take care of your clients, everything else follows, right? So you need to make sure that your product is good, you are confident, because once you are confident, it is very easy for anyone to do the marketing, for anyone to do the sales, because you are confident and the buyer can see that in your eyes, right? That you will be able to deliver results. Once your product is good, you get a lot of referral work as well. Once your product is good, the clients who left because of some other reason, they also come back to you, right? So in my initial time, I spent a lot of my time towards the product development. Now we have innovation team as well, the R&D team as well, who keeps on looking for the better solutions out there. Other than that, these days I am spending my time towards the marketing because someone else has taken the operations team.
What have you enjoyed the least about managing fast growth?
That's the part, right? Like if you enjoy your work, you enjoy every bit and piece of it, right? So with the fast growth, you are getting clients, you feel good. There is a chaos, but that is a good problem to have.
Yep.
It's a good problem to have, and in this like business world, you always get new and new problems. Each passing day, you become comfortable with those. So I would say I enjoyed each and every moment of the fast growth which we were having.
What do you love most about managing fast growth?
I love tackling a lot of different type of scenarios, lot of different type of problems, spending times in brainstorming, right, and having a proactive approach so that even before anything arises, you have a solution for it. So that's the best part which I enjoy, thinking ahead of the curve and thinking what are the other possibilities, other errors which we might face, right, and how to solve that. So that's the part which I love most about the business, and obviously serving the clients.
What has been the biggest mindset shift for you in your small business growth journey?
I'll be honest with this one. Like as I mentioned that during the initial years, it's a self-funded business. So during the initial years, I hired people like who were looking for very less salary, right? And for the initial years, there was no one in the room who was smarter than me. But later, I realized that the smarter people you have, the better problems they can solve, right? It's a foolish thing to be the smartest person in the room,
Yep.
right? Entrepreneurs, they enjoy feeling like God, that anyone comes to them with the problem and they just solve it. They feel like they are very smart, right? But like, to all the entrepreneurs who are listening to this podcast right now, that is the biggest mistake which I have done in my journey so far. You need to hire people who are smarter than you, who have grown business like yours, right? Hire them at a better pay, right? And they will really make your life very easy. And for this, I recommend a book as well, which is Who the Method, the A Method for Hiring.
What is the number one habit you think a small business owner needs to develop and maintain?
There are a couple of days when, like, business owners don't feel like going to the business, right? And the number one thing, the number one habit which I recommend them is be consistent.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people, they try marketing, they try one platform, and after 1 or 2 months, they stop doing that. Right? I am into I am running a digital marketing agency, and even I have a YouTube channel as well. And for the initial 100 videos, right, we were just trying to organically improve the subscribers and the views. And for the initial, you won't believe, for the initial 100 videos, I only had 124 subscribers. Right. So
what are you up to now?
it's growing at a little faster pace, but even now it's not very high. I started my channel last year, right? I constantly kept on creating the videos. So the number one advice is be consistent. Don't stop in the mid, right? If you are consistent, gradually success will come.
Yep. You've got over 100 team members now. Over 10 years, you've grown from 3. So can you talk to how you've added people to the team, some wins, mistakes, and advice for those listening?
While hiring or adding team members, you need to make sure that you are not just doing gut-based hiring. You need to do evidence-based hiring, right?
Yep.
You need to have a couple of different type of tests or rounds to make sure they are fit. And when the owner is taking the interview, right, a lot of people, what they do is they just try to hire people who are fitting their budget. But that should not be the case. You need to make sure that the person you are hiring is like culturally fit for your business. And you need to make sure that their personality is good, they are positive. Like, because a single toxic person can can create a chaos in your organization, and I've seen it, right? Because of one toxic manager, like, even their entire team can resign, right? So you need to make sure that you, like as someone has said, you should take your time while hiring, but if you need to fire someone, be quick, right? Hire fast, hire slow, fire fast, right? So I follow that. We have different type of tests which we take, and after every 6 months we go and check them again, whether we need to upgrade those, what's the result, what type of people are performing the best. So yes, and a lot of people, what they do is they just pass the hiring process to someone else on their team who is not capable enough on determining the quality or the type of person like which you might need. And they see that hiring is just an easy task, right? But that's not the case. You need to make sure that the person you are hiring is actually good for your organization, because you would have seen, like, even the best performer but with the worst attitude, right, gets fired in some of the cases. So it's not just about the performance. If someone is showing that they have delivered that type of performance in their previous organization, that's a good thing, but you need to make sure that the personality of that person is also good. A lot of people don't look into that. So that's one advice which I'll give. And based upon this, the hiring which I have done, like at a senior level, when I hire someone, it's just like a marriage. I drilled down the entire thing properly, right? I have read more than 10 books for hiring alone, right?
Wow.
So that I could make sure that the entire hiring process and the entire interview process is streamlined, right? A lot of people, what they do is, if they have an HR or if they have 2 or 3 rounds, And if a person, like I have literally seen this, like if a person has written skydiving in their hobby, in every round, like all the interviewers were asking the same question. Okay, so tell, oh,
Yep.
your hobby is skydiving, so tell us a little bit more about it, right? And that's
Relevant
when,
to the job.
yeah, that's when you deviate and start hiring wrong people, right?
Mhm.
All the interview, all the rounds should have a proper agenda. What exact thing you are going to check, right? Whether you are
Yeah.
planning to check what's their performance in their previous organization, or maybe their skill set, or maybe their personality, or maybe how they tackle the problems, right? But like it should be different type of agenda while hiring. So those are few things that I would advise to a couple of people, that take your hiring seriously and read couple of books. Evidence-based hiring is another one which I read. Right, that
Yeah.
would literally encourage you to do evidence-based hiring, not just gut-based, right? Because a lot
Yeah.
of people, they do gut-based hiring and then they cry.
Yeah, and back on attitude, if they've got a shit attitude or they're an arsehole, then your A players are going to start leaving the team if you don't get rid of that bad apple pretty quickly. What are some things you recommend to building a sustainable and kick-ass culture to help with the growth?
To a lot of people who think that kick-ass culture is just throwing some parties, right, on a monthly basis, celebrating few birthdays, and your culture is good. It never happens that way. A lot of people just think culture in that sense, right? So I just want to correct all of them. So for a kick-ass culture, right, even even if you don't talk about culture, I think that for a happy environment there are only few parameters which you need to make sure. The first one is that you are challenging your team enough. If you are not challenging them, then gradually down the road they'll they
Bored and
lose
leave.
all the interest in the
Yeah.
work which they are doing, and they will start finding problems in small things, not just with the work, with everything, right? So the first thing is challenge your team enough. Second is have proper meetings, right? Probably one-on-one meeting would be best if you can take a time on monthly or quarterly basis to discuss
So you
what's
don't do
the
them weekly? You don't do them weekly?
but that's, yeah, weekly is for review meeting, right? Where
Yeah.
you review the performance of the team members, what they have done good, how that can be improved. But the one-on-one meeting which I am saying is that is more towards aligning the goals, setting the
Yeah.
objectives of the person, trying to understand what they want to achieve and how the company can help them to achieve that goal,
Yeah.
right? And once that is set, then regularly talk about the successes, failures, how we can tweak, what exactly we need to do to recalibrate. For instance, if I want to go from US to Australia, then obviously I need to know my destiny, right? That I want to reach to Australia. Now, during that course of time, there are a lot of more than 100,000 times when the plane recalibrates itself towards the right direction, right? So the weekly meeting is for the recalibration for the correct direction, but that from US to Australia, that type of conversation should be on quarterly basis. That's what I meant.
Tell our audience how you've handled balance.
Uh, I guess I'm not that type of person who can give work-life balance advice, because for me, my life is a holiday.
Yeah.
I enjoy my work, right? I'm very passionate about it. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking about my business. Even when I'm at work, I'm smiling and having fun with my team members, or we are having some sort of brainstorming and critical thinking, right? So I really enjoy the process, right? My work is not exactly work for me. So like 24/7, my brain is at my office.
How much professional development have you invested in yourself over the years? Sounds like it's a lot. If you've read 10 books alone on recruitment, which is the most I've ever heard of a guest here on the cast, you must be big into professional development.
Actually, for personal and for the team development, right? The most important thing is getting trained, learning new things. Because if you are learning new things, that keeps your mind motivated and on the right trajectory. If you are learning new things, you start seeing better opportunities and better way of doing the things which you have been doing, right? And that keeps pushing you to do better, to perform better. So for me, the best thing for professional development is having a proper training sessions, reading books, listening couple of podcasts. Like I have heard 2 or 3 of your podcasts as well, and they were very encouraging. Like I learned couple of things from there as well. So listening to podcasts, reading books, having training courses. If you are struggling with something, just go and get a course. Buy a course about it. Right now, we were just studying about EOS model, right? So there are a lot of things. Just keep on doing, keep on growing. That's the biggest development advice which I can give to anyone.
Have you had mentors or coaches along the way?
Oh yes. They are very important part of my life. So yes, I have a business coach right from past 2 years, and they have guided me in tons of areas. And apart from that, I keep on enrolling myself in different type of workshops to see what are the different and what are the new things coming out there. What are like you just get opportunity to talk to the best minds out there, right? People who have solved the problem which you are currently trying to solve. So yes, coaches and mentors are a very crucial part. They speed up the process of growth, right? They help you in setting up a lot of things. So yes, I am like they are here to stay with me for my life, right? For my entire life, I'm going to stick with couple of coaches.
What do you think is the hardest thing in growing a small business?
The hardest thing is understanding and doing marketing. A lot of businesses, they just focus on sales and operations, and they do marketing only when they have free time,
Yeah.
right? And that's a challenge in the mindset which I've seen to a lot of businesses, right? You need to consistently do the marketing, right? Even when a lot of clients are coming to you, that is the best time to do the marketing, because if you are doing marketing at that point of time, you would be choosy. You will pick up good customers, right? And when the bad time comes, right, a lot of people just start spending time in marketing at that time. But at that time, whosoever comes to you, you are forced to agree to their terms, right? So just constantly do the marketing. A lot of people, when sales increase, they stop the marketing, but according to me, that is the best time to do the marketing, because that raises your standard, that gives you a better growth, you get better quality clients. So the most important thing is you should be consistent, as I said earlier, and you should be consistent with marketing every day. You should think, what have you done to market your business?
Favorite business book which has helped you the most?
My favorite business book is Good to Great by Jim Collins. That's
Jim
a
Collins.
beautiful book, right? And another one is Competitive Advantage, right? That help, like everyone should read it. It would help you in crafting out your USP. And there is another book, if you really want to go out of the league and try different things, and that's Play Bigger. But Good to Great with Jim Collins is an evergreen book, and everyone must at least read that book, if not
definitely. And then soon after, his first book, Built to Last, and I think Entrepreneurship 2.0 has just come out last year, which is probably a good one to start with, actually, because it summarizes all his books.
Yeah, but even they recommend to start with Good to Great. So that's a start, and that's why I took the name of that book, because once you read that, you are bound to buy the other two and the book which came last year. So all the 4 books.
Any great podcasts or online learning tools you use for your own professional development?
There are a couple of business growth podcasts which I listen to whenever I get opportunity, right, while traveling or doing the things. But everyone has different needs, right? Someone wants to learn sales, someone wants to do marketing. So I would say just try out a couple of podcasts and see which one tunes into, because a lot of people, they like conversation based podcast, some like just one person talking type podcast, right? So it's up to you. Just try out 2-3 podcasts. Right, as soon as you type the word, a lot of popular podcasts would start popping in, and you can go from there.
One tool you'd recommend to help grow a small business?
Like the one tool which I would say is, like, every small business should try to be as organized as possible. So probably go ahead and start using a task management tool and make it a habit, because once you start growing, right, it very easily things would start going out of control.
Yeah.
Right, and if you are habitual of using these tools, life would be very easy. So there are a couple of tools out there like Trello, Asana, Bluo, Mavenlink, Teamwork, right? So it's up to you. Just choose whatever works for you and start using that tool, because keeping organized, like, is very important for any small business. Chaos happens very fast.
Final and my favorite question: what would you tell yourself on day one of starting out?
Day one of starting out, I'll tell myself that follow your instinct, and whatever you are doing, just keep doing that. Right, everything will eventually make sense.
Great. Thanks very much for your time today, Shiv. I think the audience get a lot of value out of what you shared with us. Tremendous journey over the last 10 years, from 3 full-time team members to over 100 now, and helping a lot of small businesses around the world. So really appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot for having me here, Troy. It was great conversation. I really enjoyed our time.
Thanks.